Purchasing a home can seem like a daunting task. In this video, I'll be sharing with you 3 tips on how to purchase your first home. So the first tip is to determine whether or not you can pay for a home. So for example, you're making $100,000 per month. It would not be wise for you to try and purchase a home that is valued at $50 million, because what is going to happen is that you're going to find that the home that you're buying, your salary cannot pay it. And you find yourself only working to pay your mortgage, and you know that can't work. So what you have to do is to look at homes where your salary can make the mortgage payment. So if you're making $100,000, consider purchasing a home that is valued at like 10 million, 12 million, so between 10 and 20 million. You can consider purchasing a home within that bracket based on your income and based on your other expenses. So if you find that out of your $100,000, you have $25,000 to spare on mortgage, then you can consider getting a home that would give you a mortgage payment of $25,000 based on the price of the home. And my rule of thumb is to never purchase a home with a mortgage payment that is going to be more than 25% of my take-home salary. So if my salary is $100,000, I am not going to buy a home that is going to give me a mortgage payment of $40,000. The most I am going to pay for my mortgage payment is going to be like $25,000, because I want to be able to have room in my budget to breathe and to buy other things and to pay my other bills. I don't want to find myself paying mortgage and can't even pay my light bill after paying my mortgage. So we don't want to be rich. We don't want to be house poor around here. So the second tip is determine the cost of other fees, such as your legal fees, your stamp duty, and your surveyor report fees. What you don't want happening is where you're purchasing your home and these fees come up and you're unable to meet them. So what you want to do is to make sure you do your research and find out beforehand, what are these fees looking like? How much is it that you're going to pay in stamp duty? How much is it that your surveyor is going to charge for looking at the property? How much is it that you're going to have to pay your lawyer to help you with purchasing your property? The third tip is to save up 10 to 13% of the value of the home that you want to purchase. So what you don't want to do is start the process and you don't have any more money to meet the other expenses that are going to come with purchasing your home. So if you buy a house, if you want to buy a house that is valued at $10 million, make sure that you have at least $1 million cash in order to buy that home. Because what is going to happen is that you're going to have to pay a lot of legal fees, you're going to have to cover the closing costs, and all of these expenses are going to come out of your pocket. So make sure that you save up at least 10% of whatever the value of the home is in order to cover these costs. You know, you don't want to find yourself in a situation where you start the process of buying the home, and by the time you almost reach the end of the process of buying your home, you find yourself not having any more money to pay the other fees that the bank or NHT is telling you that you need to pay. So it's very, very important that you have enough cash on hand in order to meet all of these expenses. So make sure that you have at least 10 to 13% of the value of the home that you want to purchase. And so just to sum it all up, the 3 tips are: 1, determine whether or not you can purchase the home. And the second tip is to find out the cost of other fees, such as the surveyor report, the legal fees, and the stamp duty fees like that. Find out how much does it cost. And the third tip is to save up at least 10% to 13% of the purchase price of the home that you want to buy. If you found this video to be informative, give it a thumbs up and please subscribe to my channel for more videos like this.